Hi, Dr. Tochi here with today's continuation on the topic I was talking about last time, which is what's happening with the Igbo spirituality. So, in my last two videos, I talked about how the Igbo patriarchal structure disadvantages their women, okay? And how women are excluded from decision making, from governance. Okay, and so this has kind of bled into spiritual practices. So there are always men in charge. You have the chief priest. You never really have the chief priestess. Okay, and the women always have to be subservient to and take instructions from the men, even when the women know better, even when the women know more. And men are not required to share spiritual secrets with the women, but the women are required to share spiritual secrets and information with the men. And this is enforced in a number of ways, especially through punitive measures, okay? A variety of psychological and physical, even financial punitive measures. But the other downside of the patriarchal system in that culture is that not only the women are getting cannibalized by it, but even the men themselves. And some of the discussions I've been having with folks from that area or from that ethnic group is the reluctance of the elders to share spiritual secrets with the younger folks of the younger generations. For several decades now, you've had older holders of spiritual secrets dying with their secrets. Okay, so they are not trying in any way to share this information. They don't trust the judgment of the younger generation, so they don't share it. So they die with it. On my recent trip to that region late last year, I did speak with the younger spiritual practitioners, the male ones, who complained bitterly that even their own fathers would not share these spiritual secrets with them. And their fathers had a lot of spiritual information and knowledge around healing, around different kinds of healing, physical healings, psychological healing, emotional healing, just name it, physical healing, just all kinds of healing, okay? But this information was not being shared even with their own sons, because these men felt that their sons were reckless, would misuse the information, and could not be trusted. And so we have a situation within the Igbo spiritual traditions where vital information that will ensure the longevity of the group is not being shared. And so what happens is that the younger generation now do what they have to do. And whether what they're doing is efficacious or not, they're just doing it. And so this gives rise to a lot of charlatans, okay, and a lot of fake people and scammers, because there's quite a bit of trial and error that's going on in the spiritual space amongst those who practice Odinani. So you'll have someone, for instance, who will say, okay, I'm a water priest or water priestess. Oh, let's stick with the men. I'm a water priest and I will do a water ritual for you. And you pay him to do this water ritual, and he proceeds to insult and to castigate water spirit guides. And after raining abuses on the water spirit guides, in the same breath, he will turn around and start cajoling them to provide favors. And they don't stop long enough to think about how ludicrous all of that is. So if I'm calling you names and I'm abusing you as a spirit guide, and I'm threatening you and saying all kinds of things, which of course are null and void and of no effect, I then turn around and start saying, I want you to do this. I want you to give me favors. I want you to make me rich. I want you to, or I want you to make my client rich. I want you to bless my client. I want you to do this and that. But you just spent the last 30 minutes insulting that spirit guide. And so you have this where people are out there using a mixture of Christianity and what they think the spiritual ritual ought to be, and they come up with their own mix and they start doing what they're doing, and as a result they don't get results. So one of the very commonly prescribed rituals that I find amongst the Igbos is a water ritual. So you can go to someone and say, well, I'm having financial problems. They say, do a water ritual. I'm having family problems. Do a water ritual. I need to have kids, or I'm having issues with having children. Do a water ritual. Oh, I think someone is attacking me. Do a water ritual. And so a lot of them, their knowledge base is just there. A water ritual is the solution to all problems. And then let's say you go for it and you pay them for this water ritual. What it is, you're going to hear a lot of imprecations against spirit guides, cajoling, asking for favors, and of course, a lot of edibles. So you're going to have the person demanding that you need to buy all these edibles, or give them money to buy all these edibles. And by edibles, I don't mean, okay, I mean like real things to eat and drink, including animals, okay? So we find out that, and again, I'm using the Igbo culture and the Odinani and what's happening with that culture and their spiritual traditions as an example. And if you compare it with what's happening with the Yorubas and the Ifa, you find out that Ifa is dynamic, it's expanding, it's evolving, very dynamic. But you find that Odinani is not dynamic because of the restrictions of patriarchalism and not allowing women to assume a prominent role in the governance and execution of Odinani. Unlike Ifa, when you look at Ifa and its derivatives, women have high positions. Women are part of governance. Women are part of the King's Governing Council. Women are powerful priestesses. They have acolytes. They have apprentices. They are respected and honored and hold their ground with the men when you're looking at Ifa. But that doesn't happen with Odinani. So there's a lot to be learned from this. We learn that our spiritual traditions need to be dynamic. They need to be not just organic, but dynamic in order to ensure their survival. So if we want something that we're going to hand down to our children and our descendants, we have to allow the evolution of it. And we also have to prove ourselves to be trustworthy of the transmission of spiritual knowledge. For those who have studied under me, been coached by me, mentored by me, you know I'm big on trust and big on traditions and proving oneself to be worthy of that spiritual knowledge, okay? Because you don't want to be giving a powerful spiritual knowledge to folks who will misuse it, okay, or misunderstand it. And you want structures that allow equal access to both women and men so that the work can move forward. And in my next video, I hope I remember that, we'll talk about parallels with occult groups and the so-called secret societies. So for more, please go to my YouTube channel, Dr. Tochi. I have a plethora of free YouTube videos on practical spirituality. Visit my website at tochi.us for consultations, divination, spiritual practice coaching, where you can start using this information in your life right away, especially if you are a high achiever. Okay, so please do visit and see you.